वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। त्रैवेद्यं हृद्यं त्रिपुरहरमाद्यं त्रिनयनं जटाभारोदारं चलदुरगहारं मृगधरं महादेवं देवं मयि सदय भावं पशुपतिं चिदालम्बं साम्बं शिवमतिविडम्बं हृदि भजे। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। As we approach the concluding verses of this very beautiful Śivānandalahari, the author, the poet saint Sri Shankaracharya, treats us to yet a few more truly delicious, enriching, elevating pieces of contemplation upon Lord Shiva, His grace, His magnificence. We had seen up to the 90th verse, with 10 verses left in this composition of full 100 verses. In the 90th verse, it was said, "With my speech, I shall always praise you, talk about you. Vachasa charitam vadami." And I cannot go to the higher levels of contemplation, but manasa, with my mind, Ishwarasya akritim seve. I will stay at the saguna sakhara upasana. Shirasa cha eva sadashivam namami. I can bow down and I will do that so happily, says the devotee, reflecting a thought that had come earlier also, how the devotee pledges to engage himself or herself in Shiva related upasanas or religious practices. We pick up now a short verse in 91 where there is a mood of celebration, where the devotee has come a long way. And like Sri Arjuna says in Gita, Nashto mohaha smritir labdha karishye vachanam tava. All my delusion is gone. I now have clear memory of the distinction between right and wrong. I now know how I must act. That was jubilation at the end of Bhagavad Gita. Karishye vachanam tava. O Sri Krishna, I shall do as you say. Likewise, here we have in 91, there is the acknowledgement on the part of the devotee, how his ignorance is gone, avidya is gone, and vidya has come and filled his bosom. Departure of the evil and the arrival of the good. This is heralded in this 91st shloka. Let's see how we may sing this. Adya vidya hridgata nirgata sit. Vidya hridya hridgata tvat prasadat. Seve nityam shrikaram tvat padabjam. Bhave mukter bhajanam Rajamaule. Rajamoule. Raja here refers to the moon. Raj means to shine. And in the night, moon shines beautifully in the sky. Therefore, in a primary school, some teacher had asked, whom do you value more, the sun or the moon? And a student said, of course, the moon. And the teacher said, why not the sun, who is far brighter? And the boy said, we don't appreciate the sun so much because daytime there is anyhow a lot of light and then he comes. Night, when it is all dark, the moon comes and gives us light. We are more grateful to him who he comes at time of need. That's a little joke. But Rajate, Virajate is in the sense of shining. And Rajamouli is Shiva who has the shining moon upon his Mauli, his head. Oh Rajamouli, this Adya Avidya. About Avidya, lot of works have said, oh, this ignorance has no beginning and no end. Anadi Avidya, in a sense. Then, of course, much debate has taken place about the nature of avidya. That is not the topic in this Bhakti Grantha. Adya avidya. From the time has begun, this avidya also seems to have begun. Adya, the primordial ignorance. So they called it even the causal ignorance, the basic ignorance, the original ignorance. No wonder in Christianity they have a concept of original sin. Original sin. I don't know whether that is attributed to Adam and Eve. They committed a sin and then all humanity have to pay for it. Of course, these are allegorical and they have their own deeper meanings. Whenever we go to the deeper meanings of what saints, sages, prophets, etc. said, we come upon certain common ground of all religions. If we hold on to the shallow interpretations, there is endless strife. Adya avidya hridgata, which was there in my heart, deep in my bosom, there was such erroneous perception. Nirgata asit. It has gone away. It has gone away, never to return. Nirgata asit. That's where it resembles Sri Arjuna saying, Nashto moha. Nashto moha. Moha nashtam praptaha, no, nashtaha abhavat. Here the word is used, nirgata. And in sharp contrast, the departure of spiritual ignorance is accompanied by the arrival of Hridya Vidya. This Vidya, right seeing, this Samyak Darshana, this full appreciation of Shiva's glory is Hridya. The word Hridya means so pleasing to our heart. It is like all life, Amritatva. It is like Amrita, nectar. Hridya Vidya Hridgata has come into my heart. Tvat Prasada. With your grace, O Shiva, you have indeed showered your grace on this undeserving student or disciple or devotee of yours. And now I don't see left or right. I don't look left or right. Seve nityam shrikaram tvatpadabjam. Sevam karomi. I will now just be engaged in service. You see, we do have, even in Karma Yoga, the teaching. Do your work. Don't waste your energy in anxiety about results. Likewise, in Parabhakti also, just love God, serve God, and do not worry about when you will be liberated, when your rebirth will come to an end, and so on. Seve nityam shrikaram padabjam. Your lotus feet are shrikara. They bring to me whatever I need. All wealth will come from you, and I will do that bhave. Bhave means with great bhava. Swami Tapasyananji rightly translates it as in ecstatic thought. Bhava is sadbhava, priti bhava, prema bhava, bhakti bhava, ecstatic, ananda bhava. I shall serve you day and night with ecstatic mood. I worship thy lotus feet. Why? That lotus feet of yours is muktehe bhajanam. Swami Tapasyananji uses a less known word of English. I had to look up dictionary. Chalice. Chalice. First I thought it is Hanuman Chalisa. The chalice of salvation. Then my mind went to a big hotel that has come next to Chinmaya Sandipani in Powai, Mumbai. Renaissance. I don't know whether the second line is still there, but initially they had a second line. Lake Chalet. 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 Lake Chalet. That must be a word from some European language, French or something. So it's a beautiful 5 or 6 or 7 star hotel that has just come next to Chinmaya Mission's headquarters in Powai, Mumbai. Hotel Renaissance, Lake Chalet. That's some hotels, some nice places. But chalice means a large cup. So the Sanskrit word bhajanam has been translated as a cup, a large vessel, a beautiful patra in which mukti is served to us. Mukti comes to us in the large cup of this devotion. Mukter bhajanam. Tvatpadam seve. Your feet I serve, and from your feet liberation is what I get. Bhave mukter bhajanam seve. So mukter bhajanam, the chalice that holds liberation, is an adjective to tvat padabjam, your lotus feet. So as I said, like in karma yoga, and the purest of karma yoga is to do what needs to be done, what is right, what is dharmic, what is truly our duty, what is aligned with universal values, what our heart approves as something noble. We must do that with the least thought of reward or recognition. Sri Krishna's teaching of karma yoga is one of the most powerful teachings in the world, because 99.9% of people in the world, in the secular context and even in religious context, in temples and ashrams and spiritual organizations, 99.9% people are unhappy because they were expecting some reward, recognition, results, some fame, some name, in various forms of it. And when that doesn't come their way, they are depressed. Oh, I built this temple and people are not telling my name at all. They have forgotten me. I built this ashram. I wrote those books I gave these discourses, I composed that hymn or stotra, I did this, I did that, but nobody is mentioning my name. How cruel, how unfair, and so on. That wanting something in return is shown by Sri Krishna as utterly unwarranted. You must know that you need happiness. And to be happy, you don't need this external certification. Be happy. Seve Shrikaram Tvatpadabjam Bhave Mukter Bhajanam Rajamaule. And again, in the same mood of celebrating, letting God, letting everyone know that Shiva Bhakti has solved all my problems. 92 says, Durikritani Duritani Durakshārani Daurbhagya Dukkha Durahankriti Durvachansi Saram Tvadiya Charitam Nitaram Pibantam Gauri Shamamiha Samuddhara Satkatakshay. The main sentence here is in the fourth line. Mam iha samuddhara. O Lord, O Shiva, lift me. Iha, in this very life, in this janma. Don't say you have to wait 2 more lives. Please, iha, right now, now and here and now, as they say. And to do so, all that is needed is even just one side glance. Sat katakshayi mam uddhartum arhasi tvam Gaurisha, O Gauri Pate, Duri Kritani Duritani. In fact, with all the seva that I have been doing at your lotus feet, my durita, sinful tendencies, my sins have gone away. Duri Krita, Duraksharani. There are two expressions here, Duraksharani and then Durvachamsi. Dur is bad, Akshara, letters. And again, Dur is bad, Vachamsi, speech. So literally, words, sentences, letters, alphabet. No wonder while Bill Gates named his most famous software company Word. Word is Akshara. The parent company of Google also is named the alphabet. Today, the CEO of Microsoft, Word is one software, so rather, he named the software, the company is Microsoft. CEO of Microsoft is of Indian origin, Satya, and the CEO of Alphabet, under which comes Google, is also Sundara. Somebody said, therefore, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. So somebody asked, okay, Satya is Satya Nadella, Sundaram is Sundaram Pichai. So who is Shiva? And then they connected. There's some other CEO. Probably they talked of Śivānandalahari. That's in India. The big company HCL was and is run by Śivānandalahari. So Satyam Shivam Sundaram. There also they made a nice expression. So we have here Duraksharani, Durvachamsi, Duri Kritani. Bad thoughts, evil tendencies, foul words, and undesirable speech. They don't anymore come from me, for I am immersed in Shiva Bhakti. I am totally purified. Daurbhagya, misfortune, dukkha, sorrow, durahankriti. A dot is required in this publication. Duraham, Ham Anuswara seems to be lost here. Durahankriti Durvachansi. In other words, everything negative has made their exit. And I am filled with such blessedness, for I am someone Tvadiya Charitam Saram Nitaram Pibantam. With all joy, with all intensity. Nitaram means thoroughly. So I think the translation puts it at constantly. That is Nityam. Call it Nityam, call it Nitaram, call it Sutharam. So all these are intensely, constantly, without fail. Saram Tvadiya Charitam Nitaram Pibantam Mam. Pibantam is an adjective to Mam. Lift me. Who is this me? Who is drinking the joyous tales of your glory? Gauri Shamamiha Samuddhara Satkatakshay. Thus, again and again, in the Śivānandalahari, umpteen ways are shown how we may connect with Shiva. Connect with Shiva, you will definitely move away from bhava, this world of constant changes. There is the changing, ever dying, ever collapsing, ever perishing world on one side. Then there is Shiva on the other side, which is ever changeless. In the corporate world, in management, they have a topic, change management. Change management. And someone said, change management is very simple. Leave bhava and hold Shiva. That is change management. That means don't not shut your eyes to what needs to be done, but do not be swayed by the changes that are taking place constantly in the market, among your customers, in your products, in the needs of the demands of the society, in technology. Everywhere changes are taking place. That is bhava. Do not be swayed by it. Handle it all by your being anchored in Shiva. Hold Shiva and manage bhava. Bhava is bhavati, becoming. Everything is changing. A becoming B, X becoming Y, P becoming Q, and so on. Friends becoming enemies, our customers becoming somebody else's customers. All this happens in this world. But if you are anchored in Shiva, then we will be lifted. Samuddara Satkatakshayi. Now, a verse which is again very short, certain short meters are used by the author here. Somakaladhara Maulau Komalagana Kandhare Mahamahasi Swamini Girijanathe Mamaka Hridayam Nirantaram Ramatam. This is an ardent wish, a great aspiration. Mamaka Hridayam, my heart. Ramatam. Ramatam is in the sense of a intense desire. May my heart enjoy. Ramanam Karotu. May my heart revel. Mamaka Hridayam Nirantaram with no gap. Antara means gap. Nirantaram, constantly. No matter what I am doing. You see, in Jnana Yoga, as expressed in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is said, no matter what you are doing, please know yourself to be the pure self, the Satchit principle, never a karta or never a bhokta. Naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manyeta tattvavit. You must understand you are not doing. Body is doing. Senses are doing. Indriyani indriyarteshu vartante iti dharayan. And that is advised to us when we are in Upanishadic way. Then when should we do it? No matter what you are otherwise outwardly doing. A long list of activities is given in that couple of verses in chapter 5. Pashyan Shanvan Sprishan Jigran Ashnan Gachan Swapan Shwasan Pralapan Visrajan Grinhan Unmishan Nimishan Napi Indriyani Indriyartheshu Vartanta iti dharayan Naiva Kinchit Karomiti Yukto Manyeta Tattvavit Navadvare Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvanna Karayan. All this is said in the context of jnana. Bhakti is nothing but jnana packaged in a sweeter form. As it is said here, Nirantaram Ramatam. You can say, using or borrowing the language of Gita, Pashyan Shanvan Sprishan Jigran, while seeing, while walking, while sitting, while standing up, while opening eyes, while closing eyes, while eating, while drinking, while sleeping, while walking. During all this, in the context of bhakti, may my heart rejoice in contemplation upon Shiva. Mamaka Hridayam Ramatam. Ramatam. In what? Then rest of it is descriptions of Shiva. Somakala Maulau, all in Saptami Vibhakti. May my heart rejoice in Shiva, who upon his Mauli, upon his head, has Soma, the moon. What kind of moon? Full moon? No, Kaladhara, crescent moon. Kala here means a part. Maybe 3, 4, or 5 parts of the 15. In 15 nights, the moon goes to full moon. Next 15 nights, the wanes, waxing and waning, as they call it. So, 4th or 5th night after Amavasya, that is a Kala. Otherwise, Kaladhara is one who has faces, but here especially the one who has come up to the 4th or 5th Kala, Soma Kaladhara Maulau Shive, Komala Ghana Kandhare, he is one who has Kandhara, somewhere can be shoulder, but here it is the throat, who has a beautiful throat, Ghana, like a dark blue cloud, and so tender, so delicate. So there's a contemplation upon Saguna Sakara aspect of Lord Shiva, while recognizing that this Shiva, with all those forms, actually is basically infinite effulgence, light, radiance, Mahasi, Mahas, Gur, Bhuva, Swaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam, they say Mahaha means Mahas. Mahas is bright light. And they say there is a loka called Mahar Loka. So Mahas is a loka, but here in the simple sense of abundant radiance, light. Maha Mahasi Shive, Mama Hridayam Ramatam, Swamini. This is also the 7th case of Swami. In Swami, in the master, Shiva is the master, he is the Pashupati, and all of us are Pashus. Girijanathe, he is the master or husband or consort of Girija. Parvati is Girija, for she was born to Giri. Giri is Parvatarajan. Therefore, she is called Parvati and born of Giri, Girijanathe. Therefore, at places, it's a submission, I constantly think of you. At other places, it's a wish, may I constantly think of you. As you and I advance, we do not make any other demand from God except praying to Him that we may think of Him and we may have more and more devotion. With all devotion, we ask God, and He says, what do you want? We say, I want more devotion. I want unflinching devotion. I want ceaseless devotion. Nirantaram Mamaka Hridayam Shive Swamini Girijanathe Ramatam. May it rejoice, may it delight. And there's a very queer verse now in 94. I haven't come across this type anywhere else. And it's very simple, but the structure is very different from so many other shlokas. When someone reads it first time, one may wonder what kind of statement is this. Let me read that for you. Sarasana te nayane तावेव करौ स एव कृतकृत्यः यायेयौ यो भर्गम् वदति क्षेते सदा अर्चतः स्मरति. The structure is very different. Sarasana, that alone is something that deserves to be called a tongue. Jihva, rasana means jihva. As you have a beautiful, well-known poem, many of you, I'm sure, have heard and even sung it. Sadashiva Brahmendra's poem, Pibare Ramarasam Rasane, Pibare Ramarasam Rasane. He addresses Rasana, his own tongue. Oh dear tongue, drink, enjoy, savor Ramarasa. Vibare Rasane Ramarasam. That is the famous, very well known poem. So in nominative, Prathama Vibhakti is Rasana. Now the sentences are simple, only structure is a bit odd. Sa Rasana, now connected to Ya, the first word of the second half, and Vadati, the first verb among four verbs that are given. Vadati, Ikshete, Archataha, Smarati. Four verbs, Kriyapadas, are given. Four organs or faculties are given. Rasana, Nayane, Karau, Rasana, Nayane, Karau, and Saha, a person. There are four of these. Three are faculties and the fourth one is an individual. So, four subjects, four verbs have to be connected. Let's do the first part. Sa eva rasana ya bhargam vadati. That alone deserves to be called a tongue, jihva, rasana, which constantly utters Shiva's names. Bharga is yet another name of Shiva, as you know. Bharga. So Bhargam ya vadati, sa eva rasana. Any other tongue which does not utter Shiva's name, not worthy. They are worthless tongues. Such tongues are such a waste. You got a tongue and you did not say Shiva's name. As there is some bhajan, when you have got Narajanma and when you have got a Jihva, why don't you say Krishna? Purandara Dasa song, I think many of you may know. Narajanma bandiralu, nalige bandiralu, Krishna Yana Bharade. That's a song. All singers have sung that in especially Carnatic music people. When you have human life, when you have Jihva, Nalige in Kannada means Jihva, Rasana, why don't you say Krishna? Instead of saying Krishna, you talk about everything, politics and sports and entertainment and blah blah. What a waste. So this spirit is common in Indian spiritual wisdom. Saeva rasana ya vargam vadati. Shiva namani vadati. Shiva namasu ramate. That alone is the tongue. Otherwise, don't call it a tongue. It's a waste. Te nayane, dual number because eyes are two. Nayanam, nayane, nayanani. Phalam, phale, phalani. Tatte. Tat is one, te is two. Te eva nayane. Ye, there also yat ye yani, yat ye yani. Dual number. In Sanskrit we have dvivachana. Most languages in the world have singular and plural. But some languages, I believe there are one or two in the Europe also, which have singular, dual, and plural. I don't know which language it is, but Sanskrit has ekavachanam, dvivachanam, bahuvachanam. Karaha, one hand. If two hands, karau. And more than two, three to any number is karaha. Karaha karau karaha. Ramaha ramo ramaha. Ajaha ajau ajaha. We memorize. Sanskrit begins with memorizing all this, which pays rich dividends later on. Initially, we may say, oh, how much should I memorize? Really, it's not too much. After some time, you find a certain order, certain pattern, certain slight difference, that's all. Not really a whole lot of difference. So, sa eva rasana ya bhargam vadati te eva nayane. Only those eyes deserve to be called eyes who hold or behold, I must say, that behold Shiva's form. Ikshete. That's the Kriyapada to be connected. Ikshate, ikshete, ikshante. Kriyapada also has ekavachana, dvivachana, and bahuvachana. Patati, patataha, patanti. Labate, labete, labante. Singular, dual, plural. And then the three persons. Third person, second person, first person. Pratama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, Uttama Purusha. First, everybody gets scared of Sanskrit. But do not be scared. And today you have so many ways to make matters easy. Technology and olden days also charts and maps and whatever drawings can be made and all that. When I taught Sanskrit as way back as, of course, I began in 84, 85. But especially in 88, I was assisting Swami Purushothamanandaji, 89, in Bombay. And a whole bunch of students were studying. And Sanskrit and chanting was my subject. Then some Vedanta also. I used to tell them, okay, this one, DM 36, SM 43. And they liked that abbreviation. DM 36 and SM 47 or something. What is DM and FM? Not FM, DM and SM. In radio engineering, you have AM and FM. AM stations, FM stations, PM stations. There are those, you know, amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation, etc. But in Sanskrit grammar, DM means Dhatu Manjari. You must know all the forms of Kriyapadas, Dhatu Manjari. And as far as nouns are concerned, they are to be found in Shabda Manjari. And today everything is available on the internet. Just last week I downloaded because my books are all scattered here and there. As I moved to Mumbai, I sat one night and looked for and got Dhatu Manjari I downloaded, Shabda Manjari I downloaded. It's all in my laptop now. Any word that puzzles me, that makes me raise my eyebrows. What is this word? What is the root? What is the construction? Find it in Dhatu Manjari, DM and SM. And they were delighted. They were have given, everybody was given the two books. DM 37, they immediately open page 37. Oh, the forms are given. Anyway, without going further into grammar and Sanskrit, Sa eva rasana ya bhargam vadati te eva nayane ye bhargam ikshete tau eva. By sandhi it becomes taveva. Tau eva karau. Only those two hands deserve to be called hands, which, let's see what the verb is, sada archataha. Those hands which worship Lord Shiva deserve to be called hands. If the hands are doing something else, forget them. They are worthless hands which are into other things. Last but not the least, sa eva kritakrityaha. Among these huge number, billions of human beings, only that person, man or woman, is kritakritya, is truly blessed. Her life, his life is sarthaka. Who is that? Yaha. Yaha becomes by sandhi yo. Smarati, who remembers the Lord at all time. Ma manusmara yudhyacha. Do your work, and while doing your work, secular or religious, remember me. Sri Krishna summarized his teachings in the 8th chapter. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Do your work. And Sri Ramakrishna put it even more sweetly. He said, when one hand of yours is in work, hold God with the second. As soon as work is over, hold God with both the hands. How sweet. We have all these most wonderful guidance, but our mind wanders and we go into so-called depression, anxiety. We get up at 2:30 a.m. and wonder what is the meaning of life. Because you wonder, life looks meaningless. Stop wondering. If you get up at 2:30 a.m., you don't get sleep, say, ha, sleep was a problem for me. Now I'm so alert. Time to do japa. Sit down on the bed and say Shiva, Shankara, Mahadeva. Remember Lord Shiva. Because isn't it our complaint at other times that I want to do japa tapa, but I feel sleepy. But now 2:30 a.m. time is served to you on a platter. You want to sleep, you don't get sleep. So, if necessary, have a half a cup of green tea, sit in a nice posture, and go on doing japa. After 1 hour, maybe you again feel sleepy, go to sleep. But 1 hour you used when you were sleepless, rather than worrying about, oh my, looks like my life has gone to waste. Oh my, I think I will be reborn again. Thoughts are the culprit. Don't worry about rebirth. Don't worry about this waste, etc. Sada yaha smarati. Therefore, ya rasana, ye nayane, yau karau, and yo naraha or saha, purushaha, they are together. Ya, ye, yau, yo. Somebody thought they are some Chinese names. China, who, he, chung, chung, etc. are also names. So, ya, ye, yau, yo, this is Sanskrit or is this Chinese? Somebody would ask. Anyway, how nice. In simple summary, life becomes truly fulfilled. You want the bhakti language, constant remembrance of God, loving remembrance makes your life fulfilled. It's applicable to grahasthas, it's applicable to swamis, sadhus, etc. Grahasthas, whether they have their own 5 bedroom house or a small 1 BHK, that too on rent, you know, not at all a worry. Forget it. In that one, bedroom house, that too on rent, if your thoughts are with God, you are so blessed. At a stone's throw distance, there is a billionaire who has a huge palatial house, but his mind is not in God. He will be drinking and smoking and looking out of the window and etc. Disturbed. So you want to be disturbed in a palatial house or you want to be happy in a small house? Obviously, you go for happiness. Even in sadhu's life, if sadhus want to really be happy, let them try to write books, to give lectures, to compose songs, to have huge audiences. Let them, that's their work. Let them do. Let them try to build an ashram. Maybe they succeed, maybe they fail. Let them be popular or let them not be counted at all by the society. Let society look at the sadhu as a derelict, as someone who is good for nothing. Let them call the sadhu or sadhvi a hypocrite and whatnot. Who cares? If this sadhu or sadhvi has learned the art of lovingly remembering God, her life is sarthaka. स एव कृतकृत्यः यः स्मरति सा एव रसना या शिवं वदति ते एव नयने ये शिवम् ईक्षेते तौ एव करौ तौ एव हस्तौ यौ शिवम् अर्चतः. And then changing the gear, so to say. In 95 we have Atimradulau Mama Charanau Ati Katinam Te Mano Bhavanisha Iti Vichikitsam Santyaja Kathamasi Girau Tatha Praveshaha. The devotee thinks from Shiva's angle of view and wonders, possibly Shiva has a certain hesitation in entering my heart. What could be that hesitation? Maybe Shiva thinks in this way. Ati mrudulau mama charanau. I want to enter and put my feet in your heart, but my feet are so tender. Mama charanau, my feet, mama padau, ati mrudulau, very soft. And you, addressing the devotee, Shiva seems to say, your heart, where I want to place my feet, is so rocky, so stony, so rough. You are a stone hearted man. Your wife always says that, or other way too. If it's a lady, your husband says, oh, she is hard to manage. So, man or woman, no gender bias. Your heart is ati kathina. Manaha here is heart. For a devotee, I can't place my feet in your heart. If Shiva were to say, Shiva never said this, but this is a devotee's imagination. Bhavanisha, Bhavani Pate, O Lord of Bhavani, Parvati Pate, Iti Vichikitsam Santyaja. If you have that hesitation, if you have that kind of doubt, Santyaja. Tyaja itself means give up. Santyaja. Let go of such doubt. Shiva may ask, why? This is a valid doubt, a genuine doubt. Your heart is hard and my feet are soft. Shiva, don't take me for a ride. You are known to have walked over hills. Girau Praveshaha. With bare feet, you have walked on all kinds of hills and mountains and rough terrain where the surface is not smooth. There are thorns, there are all kinds of obstacles. But you are seen to, you are supposed to be Girisha. Girau Shete iti Girisha. You are supposed to be Girisha. Girinam Ishaha. You are the Lord of mountains. If you could go and walk around on all kinds of mountains, my heart, maybe a little hard, I do agree. I'm a little hard hearted, stone hearted, rock hearted, thorn hearted. I am a little bit. But this is nothing compared with all those mountains where you have easily roamed about. Therefore, Shiva, Vichikitsam Santyaja. One more for this class, we'll read this at least. धैर्यांकुशेन निभृतं रभसात् आकृष्य भक्ति श्रृंखलया पुरहर चरणालाने हृदयमदेभं वधान चिद्यन्त्रैः. The main sentence, let me say in advance, will elaborate. It has a little bit of details in the metaphor. Hridaya mada ibham. Mada means intoxicated, mad, matta. Ibha in Sanskrit means gaja, kari, or hasti. Ibha means an elephant. My mind is like a mad elephant rushing towards sense objects, pleasure, name, fame. Badhana, please bind it. Those of you who do puja know that some shlokas have the word grihana. You offer pushpa, you offer phala, you offer something else. Idam grihana. Grihana means please hold, please take, please accept. Likewise, badhana. Please bind, bandhanam kuru. Please bind this mad elephant of my mind with ropes or with yantra, with mechanisms of pure wisdom. Chidyantrai. That last line alone is so inspiring. Vadhana mama madebham, hridaya madebham, chidyantrai, gnana shaktina. With the power of the right seeing, which you will bless me with, the elephant of my mind becomes calm, becomes quiet, will behave properly when you do that. In this way, every verse has enough food for thought, food for feeling, food for contemplation. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shivaya.